Hello and welcome again to the Friday Wrap for May 2nd. Now here's a wrap up of what's happening around Burr Ridge. Now the previous week I forgot to mention there was one event that was a fundraiser that I attended. It was held for our state senator and leader Christine Radogno. It was held in Lamont and it was very well attended by supporters and elected officials, including House Leader Jim Durkin, our House Republican leader Jim Durkin, who, as you might also recall, offices in Burr Ridge. Now in addition to Chris, the featured speaker was Republican gubernatorial candidate Bruce Rauner, who offered a very fresh perspective. So if you get a chance, be sure to attend one of his speeches. Now the village board meeting was conducted on Monday night. After approximately 30 items on the consent agenda were approved, we had a public meeting to discuss the budget for 2014-15. All told, the budget was discussed over 3 board meetings, plus 8.5 hours of budget workshops, of which there were 3. We are projecting a balanced budget for the next 2 years, but a substantial deficit in 2016-17. Now we learned a lot about the flexibility and budgeting and timing of how projects impact future years. But one of the most surprising things that I learned was how deficit projections are really just not uncommon several years out, even not just in the village, but even for school boards, which I learned and heard firsthand from our local school board president. The budget eventually passed unanimously. The Veterans Memorial Committee meeting was held on Wednesday, mainly to vote on the recipient of this year's Patriot Award and to make final plans for the Armed Forces Day event, which is on Saturday, May 17th. Now, mark your calendars for this one, because in addition to a great band, tent, and featured speaker, we're going to have free Dove bars, compliments of Mars chocolates, and popcorn we expect from Popcorn Palace. I don't know if they know that yet, but I'm sure they'll be willing, because they have been in the past. And they're now located at 83rd Street in Madison. Plus, the horse stable owner, or the place on the corner of 91st and Route 83, his name John Moskal, was able to again arrange a flyover of 6 vintage airplanes who will be flying in formation in honor of our armed forces. On Wednesday morning, the village sponsored a business appreciation breakfast. Now that was kind of cool. It was for all Burr Ridge businesses. Now over 100 people were in attendance, attending the 7:30 a.m. event, at which Mars Chocolates was awarded our first ever appreciation award for their community service with an accompanying plaque. And Burr Ridge Bank and Trust executives Roy Tygeson and Mike Carberry spoke about the state of the economy and the banking industry. The Willowbrook Burr Ridge Chamber of Commerce was also well represented, as well as dozens of companies and firms like a law firm called Goldstein, Skrotsky, Russia, Nemec, and Hoff, located on the county line, Cook County side. Steve Stricker also gave a village update, including 2 surprising statistics, even to me. That Global Luxury Imports, who we were able to woo back or stay in the village and expand, is now one of our top 10 sales tax producers. And that the village hit a milestone. We now have over 500 businesses in Burr Ridge. Now that's an incredible statistic. That still shocks me. I knew it was in the 450, 470, but we're up over 500 now. Now the remaining of the 17 liquor licenses were also hand delivered this week. I did that for expedience sake and so that I could meet more of the managers and proprietors, and also force myself to get out, get in front of, and get into all those businesses. Now, all too often, I focus on the urgent, not the important. That's one good way of doing it. By the way, please say your prayers for La Cabanita, the Mexican restaurant owner. His name is Ralphie. He is still working part-time, but is awaiting a heart transplant. His restaurant is in the capable hands of his 2 sisters. I believe it's Sally and Lorraine, but don't quote me on that. But last but not least, Patty's Sunrise Cafe is expected to open in the Moondance diner space probably later this month. By the way, the village now offers a weekly update of its own called eBriefs. You can sign up for it on the village website and click on e-news, I believe, on the left-hand side. Now, next week, on Monday night, the union negotiations will begin and the Plan Commissioners meeting will be conducted. The next Pathway Commission meeting is scheduled for Thursday, May 8th. Now, can you believe how fast they tore down the half of the County Line Road Bridge? I mean, I couldn't believe it. When I got back in town, in just 4 days. The entire southern or sort of western half was gone. Now, I made some time to survey the construction and also learn from a foreman that when they were jackhammering parts of the foundation, he could tell some parts were starting to fail. In his words, it was time to replace it. On a personal note, last weekend, Pope John Paul II was canonized on Divine Mercy Sunday. Our first Polish pontiff is now St. John Paul II, which was great news for my entire family and my relatives. For those of you who don't know that I'm Polish. Also, my daughter's college, University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, or UWM, ended up taking third place at the Horizon League Conference in Ann Arbor last weekend. It was a Cinderella season for them, but they expect even bigger things next year. Thanks again for joining me. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.